top of the morning. As of August 14th, St. Lucia is rated number 1 in the Caribbean for our COVID-19 response. Wonderful news to wake up to this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the morning update live on NTN. It is the Morning Brew, and we're bringing you the latest news coming from the government of St. Lucia. This is some wonderful news. We have some more news developments coming from the government of St. Lucia for today, Monday, the 17th of August, 2020. The Department of Physical Planning reassures public access to all beaches on the island. St. Lucia's Prime Minister continues to advocate internationally for COVID-19 testing, and scores of students in Education District 2 receive their annual back-to-school supplies. Hello, good morning. My name is Jessie Leonce. We do hope you stay tuned for the duration of this morning's program. Quite a packed program in terms of our newscast, as well as Chef Yannis is in the studio again with us another week, bringing us some more healthy options for our diet. We do have him in this morning, and he's going to be presenting and preparing some wraps for us, some chicken wraps, some vegetarian wraps, and some pork wraps. I'm looking forward to that. The aromas in the studio are to die for. Stay tuned for that and the news coming up after this break.
She's been watching, waiting, wondering when the sands of time will give way to a tide of change, and for yesterday and today to become a new tomorrow. For a time when her sun can kiss the cheeks of your loved one and her stars can twinkle in her honeymoon skies. When her earthly embrace will reassure and calm your soul. And her unique view can change your whole perspective. Proudly, she has risen to meet new challenges and to provide safe harbor to all who reach her shores. For her hopes and dreams still stand, shoulder to shoulder, a precious reminder of experiences yet to come. So, wherever your moments and memories take you, let her sense of adventure set you free. She is St. Lucia.
Thank you for staying tuned. This is the Morning Brew live on NTN from the GIS studios. If you're just joining us, a special good morning to you. My name is Jessie Leonce. We get on with the news for this morning. A comparison of confirmed COVID-19 cases per 10,000 population in the Caribbean, including CARICOM members, revealed that St. Lucia had done the best in terms of its number of cases as well as containment of the coronavirus so far. So as of August 14th, that is this past Friday, St. Lucia was rated number 1 in the Caribbean for our COVID-19 response. And this is a Caribbean update coming from Mitzi Ellis-Simpson from MJS and Associates, and a message from the government of St. Lucia. Let us continue to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols, such as washing our hands frequently, practicing physical distancing, wearing of the masks in public, and staying home if you feel sick. By adhering to the recommendations from the health officials and continuing to work together, we can continue to beat COVID-19. Definitely wonderful news there that we're receiving from individuals who are doing independent reports on the number of cases happening in the Caribbean. Just recently, we heard of an increase in cases in some of the neighboring islands, and we do hope that they are able to recover from that impact and also do well at containing COVID-19 in general. But we're very thankful, very grateful that St. Lucia is in a very good position, an enviable position at this point in time, and we do hope that continues. Continuing with news this morning, the Department of Physical Planning has sought to address some public concern regarding the approval granted to Cabot St. Lucia Inc. by the Cabinet of Ministers. In outlining the sequence of events, the department informed that in 2019, the Department of Physical Planning received a request by Cabot for the extension of existing Queen's Chain leasehold agreements presently held by way of sublease leasehold agreement. And this morning, just for the elucidation of the general public, I would like to read that press release in its entirety, just very quickly for your understanding. In light of information being reported by certain sections of the media in relation to the approved granted Cabot St. Lucia Inc. by the Cabinet of Ministers, the Department of Physical Planning wishes to clarify the sequence of events on the same. In 2019, the Department of Physical Planning received a request by Cabot for the following: the extension of existing Queen's Chain leasehold agreements presently held by way of sub-leasehold agreements by Cabot, which are block and parcel number 1657B 1/1/1, block and parcel number 1657B 3/1/1, block and parcel number 1657B 4/1/1, and block and parcel number 1657B 5/1/1, and finally block and parcel number 1658B 12/1/1. And 4 new 99 emphyteutic leasehold agreements over Queen's Chain's properties to Cabot, which are block and parcel number 1457B 369, block and parcel number 1457B 440, block and parcel number 1657B 2, a public beach also known as Secret Beach, and also block and parcel number 1658B 3. 1 new leasehold agreement by way of a 99-year emphyteutic lease of freehold property, block and parcel number 1457B 235 to Cabot. The grant of easements, servitudes by way of a 99-year emphyteutic leasehold agreement under the Queen's Chain, the Casabah Beach, namely block and parcel numbers 1457B 135, 134, 174, 231, 230, 130, 126, and 369 to Cabot for the trenching of utility service cables. The Department of Physical Planning assessed the request and submitted its findings and recommendations to the Cabinet of Ministers for their consideration. The subject memorandum to Cabinet was returned to the Department of Physical Planning for restructuring and correction. A new memorandum regarding Cabot's request was prepared and submitted to Cabinet by the Department of Physical Planning. The memorandum only requested consideration for the extension of the existing leases which Cabot already has over the following parcels: 1657B 1/1/1, 165.7B 3/1/1, 165.7B 4/1/1, 165.7B 5/1/1, and 165.8B 12/1/1. Cabinet, by conclusion number 957, dated 20th July 2020, approved the grant of a 75-year lease to Cabot for the Queen's Chain properties listed below on conditions to be formulated by the Department of Physical Planning and approved by Cabinet. Block parcels number 1657B 1, 3, 4, and 5, and block parcel and number 1658B 12. The approval is subject to the surrender of the head lease for the said properties or resolution of related issues between Cap Estate Limited and the Crown. In summary, please note that this renewal of the lease does not include the adjacent beaches, that is Donkey, Secret, Casabah beaches, etc., extensively used by St. Lucians and visitors to the island for sea bathing, picnics, walking, hiking, etc., camping, fishing, horseback riding, restaurants and bars, including Marjorie's Beach Restaurant and Bar. All beaches remain public. So that is some clarification there from the Department of Physical Planning on the Cabot issue, that some persons have been concerned as to whether or not they will continue to have access to the beach. We have the assurance from the Department of Physical Planning that all beaches remain public. We continue this morning with news. Prime Minister Honorable Alan Shasney, who is serving as CARICOM's point man on protocols for the reopening of tourism, the leading economic sector in the Caribbean, has applauded the region for its general quick response to the pandemic and the management of the pandemic so far. Prime Minister Shasney heaped the praise during an interview with Cheddar, a leading post-cable news media and entertainment company. Cheddar is watched live by many and more than 6.5 million people each month. Honorable Shasney spoke about the successes of pre-testing requirements for travelers to St. Lucia and the partnership which needed to be developed within the travel industry to curtail the spread of COVID-19. We have a clip on the Honorable Prime Minister.
We started extremely early in reacting to the virus. And I'm very happy to say that we've only had 25 cases to date, and we've not had anyone die from corona. And we've also recently opened up our island to international travel, and we started on July 9th receiving Americans here into St. Lucia.
Talk to me a bit about the regulations that you have put in place, you hope to continue to put in place, specifically as it pertains to the major airlines. I mean, that is the avenue by which Americans and people from all over the world get to visit your beautiful, your incredible country. What are you hoping for with regards to increased testing, and what can people expect, say, if they do want to book a trip to St. Lucia?
Well, I'm very lucky. I used to be an airline executive myself. I was the senior vice president worldwide for Air Jamaica. And I happened to also be around when we had, unfortunately, 9/11. So there was some experience that I had on dealing with the protocols. So St. Lucia from very early understood that a significant protocol was pre-tested to cause persons to travel to St. Lucia or to anywhere in the Caribbean, and testing them on arrival would create way too many problems. And what happens if they test positive when they got down here? We can't send them back to the United States of America, and they would have to quarantine in St. Lucia. And certainly nobody wants to come on vacation and end up being in quarantine for 2 weeks. So pre-testing is critical, and that was a fundamental part of our protocols. And once the persons arrived into St. Lucia, what we did in the initial stage was to cause them to be inspected at the hotel, at the airport, temperature testing and a quick interview, and then expedited to the hotels. And the hotels that we have, luckily, are all inclusives, and that their stay would be in that hotel. We would have limited experiences in the destination during phase 1 of the program. So as I said, we've started up since July 9th. We've had over 4,000 arrivals coming into the destination, and not one person has tested positive once they've been on the island.
That was Honorable Prime Minister Alan Chasney applauding the region for its general quick response to the pandemic. In more news this morning from the government of St. Lucia, despite the devastating effects of the pandemic, the government of St. Lucia remains focused on achieving the targets established under the medium-term development strategy. A stock take or assessment exercise was conducted with key line ministries by a project management and delivery unit to monitor the progress and actions taken to achieve targets outlined in the MTDS. We have a report.
The Performance Management and Delivery Unit, PMDU, and the Office of the Prime Minister, established in 2019, has the expressed mandate of ensuring targets established under the Medium-Term Development Strategy are ultimately achieved. Director of the Performance Management Unit, Sharon Gardner-Hippolyte, said for the next 2 years, the unit will be laser-focused on monitoring the achievements of those targets spread across 6 key ministries.
We assist the ministries, we support them, we facilitate what has to be done. If there are challenges, we again assist them in resolving those challenges. And if it is that the challenge can only be resolved because of the assistance by the Prime Minister, then we are that direct line to make sure that the challenge is resolved as quickly as possible.
On August 7th, the PMDU, alongside the Prime Minister, conducted a stocktake exercise of the various ministries, reviewing their progress and stages of implementation in relation to their various targets.
In 2018, the ministries embarked on an activity that allowed for them to look at what are their main priorities, what do they want to focus on, and what are the targets for those priorities for the next 4 years. This all culminated in the medium-term strategy development program. And right now, what we are doing is that every 3 months, we come before the Prime Minister and we evaluate where we are in relation to those priorities. Are we on target? Are we focusing in the right areas? What are we doing to problem solve our challenges? And how are we getting back on track in relation to our priorities and our targets if we have fallen off of track?
Our cameras captured the presentation of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, one of the 6 key ministries integral to the stocktake exercise. The PMDU director noted that the assessment of the key ministries were very decent, taking into account the financial challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Some of the positive things coming out of the stocktake today that I can speak about is that in relation to our hypertension and diabetes, we had 51% of persons coming in for amputation in comparison to our previous year. So that's a great drop. In relation to crime, our target for this year is to be 15% below 2018 figures, and we are currently at 6.9%. So in terms of our mid-year review, we are tracking well towards that target. Last week, our figure, we track it weekly, our figure in relation to crime was at 8.7%.
She added that the focus is on simultaneously driving the social and economic policies under the medium-term development strategy, which in turn should have a positive impact on national productivity.
One of the fantastic projects that I like to think of that does both is, for example, in education. We now have a project under TVET that was funded by the World Bank that's essentially going to be upskilling our TVET certification and ensuring that more persons move towards certification and completion as opposed to just enrollment and getting the courses. Also looking to add value in some of the areas. We also got another set of funding from the 11th EDF so that way we can again increase our offerings in relation to TVET in St. Lucia.
The 6 key areas being focused on in the MTDS are agriculture, infrastructure, tourism, health, education, and citizen security. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.
Thanks for that news report. And meantime, the Ministry of Tourism continues to provide support to stakeholders as the tourism sector reopens. With protocols already established within the tourism taxi subsector, officials are now working with the car rental sector. Miguel Morissette has the details to that story.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Donalyn Viti, stated that the ministry is doing everything within its power to ensure no sector is left behind during these unprecedented times. Appearing on the August 11 televised discussion to update the country on the national COVID-19 response, Vite addressed the situation with the car rental sector, which has been negatively impacted.
But understanding that the car rental sector is a group that has been marginalized, the ministry has ensured that we're promoting the bubblecation and the staycation. We know locals are renting, but more so the bubblecation, so they could patronize the alternative accommodation like the villas, the condos, and the apartments, as well as to use the services of car rental companies.
The Permanent Secretary also noted that international visitors who have been given the all-clear after completing the 14-day quarantine period at the certified quarantine facility are qualified to rent a vehicle and are free to roam.
Quite a bit of them have been opting to stay the course of the 14 days at the COVID-certified hotel and then indicating they wish to move into a villa or an apartment or bed and breakfast where they could move around freely like the regular St. Lucian or visitors from the bubble. To be able to build the confidence of the public, what we have been doing is having health clear them. It's almost as if you cleared from a quarantine facility and they've been given a letter with the stamp of the Ministry of Health and signature.
The Ministry of Tourism is working to return livelihoods while maintaining a safe St. Lucia. From the Government Information Service, Miguel Morissette reporting.
Thank you for that report, Miguel. We are due for a break this morning. You are watching the Morning Brew. And to go with that fresh cup, we do have Chef Yannis in the building, in studio with us to prepare some wraps, some chicken wraps, some vegetarian wraps, and pork wraps for us this morning. We hope you stick around to learn something. Stay with us.
Cette lisi ka registre vermin corona ek I ka fait mouvement ek an chay vitesse tan chaque canef ka kouye pour vigilance publique là fait wolo parler en place publique qu'on bon mais base ti boutique changer distance sociale 6 pieds Rodion à l'autre. I ka travail tan, si ou senti ko pas cordial, quarantine ko, pas en contact et puis l'autre, en cas où t'es trompé exposé. C'est un écouillé, free one ou ben n'importe clinique yo pour yo. Les pays a dimi à clé, ça veut dire les supermarkets, pharmacies et puis ATM, yo accessible avant c'était souhait. Pays à clé en plein, ça veut dire tout bagay fermé à 24 heures. Servi protocole comme sorti par bureau indication santé. Nous tout ensemble, ça sauve vermine corona. Si nous tous servi Jidla à toutes les.
Together let us win this war. Say we shall be a soldier. Together we can beat this corona.
Overnight, growing national unrest.
Society, a digital cashless society, one world currency.
A vaccine for COVID-19.
Droplets
COVID patients.
Macy's iconic flagship.
Track the coronavirus. On the corona pandemic.
Our opposition to the lockdown.
Infected conspiracy theories.
Bizarre claims.
The truth about the origin of COVID-19 hidden from the rest of the world. And the Chinese.
In this constantly changing environment, resulting in sensory overload, cut through the noise and tune in to the National Television Network, the official source of information, all facts.
Hello and welcome back. You are watching the Morning Brew live on NTN. If you've just watched the news, now is the time to just loosen up a little bit more because we have Chef Yannis in studio with us and he's going to be showing us how to prepare some wraps, some chicken wraps, some vegetarian wraps, and some pork wraps, depending on your persuasion. Good morning, Yannis.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in another week, another Monday, to go with our morning brew. So let's have a go at it.
You ready to have breakfast with me?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I normally start, I like to use whole wheat wraps.
Okay.
Because again, I push in the healthy theme and fresh organic local lettuce, carrot, cucumber, cabbage, all in the wrap.
Nice.
So you always lay your bed of lettuce first. What do you want to do? You want to do the vegetarian one first?
We could do the veg.
Okay. So I have garlic roasted eggplant.
Garlic roasted eggplant, nice.
Beautiful. And then here I'm going to use barbecue sauce and tartar sauce and a little bit of garlic sauce from City Foods.
Okay. From City Foods. Okay, so City Foods is a business in St. Lucia. They do prepare tartars, sauces, really good stuff. So what kind of sauces? So you have garlic sauce, barbecue sauce.
Our chili sauce as well.
Chili sauce.
Garlic paste, garlic sauce. All these are available.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you added the garlic sauce.
Yes.
And now
I'm adding our City's barbecue sauce.
City's barbecue sauce.
Yes. And the tartar sauce.
Some tartar sauce.
For that extra zero.
Guys, it smells wonderful in here. You can imagine tartar sauce, barbecue sauce, garlic sauce. I mean, the flavors are out of this world.
Now here comes the difficult part. The rolling.
The rolling.
And then you have to grip and continue to roll it again.
Nice. Nice. Perfect.
That's a little messy.
And wraps you could prepare for breakfast, lunch, or supper.
Yes, any time of the day, whatever your mood is. And you can also get the corn wraps. You can get the spinach. They come in garlic paste as well.
So this is something you can do at home?
Definitely, because these are ingredients you always have home. You always have chicken, pork, you always have lettuce, cabbage, carrots. This is stuff you can always do at home.
Okay, let's have a go at the chicken wrap.
Yeah. Again, lettuce.
So we do this pretty much the same for each wrap.
For each wrap.
But a different meat.
Different meat. So the chicken is grilled. So no added fat. So people who are watching all the calorie intakes, this is very good for them.
Perfect. Now, Yannis, last week you were telling us how you started in the love for food and cooking with, in your hometown of Soufrière.
Yes.
Soufrière. Just tell us about what sparked your love for cooking.
It was actually baking, because growing up I was baking a lot with my great-grandmother. So every Christmas I had to make like 12, 15 fruitcakes with my family.
Just for the family or
just
to sell?
Just for the family.
Wow.
So some were being shipped overseas, some were being shipped cast trees. Yeah. So it was a regular thing for the family.
And then you go to secondary school.
Yeah, I went to secondary school at Choiseul Secondary. And then I began my training at Sugar Beach.
Sugar Beach, okay, nice.
Yeah, with Chef Sidney Prescott.
Okay. And where did your career take you?
It took me after Sugar Beach, it took me to Jane Mountain. And then I went to land in St. Lucia. It took me to St. Vincent. I've been to Tortola. So I've been around a bit.
Nice. So what are your plans for the future now?
My plans for the future, I'm actually, two things I want to do. I want to have my own catering company, and if God bless me, I want to start my very own culinary school in St. Lucia. That's the ultimate goal.
But what do you think a culinary school in St. Lucia would do for the public? Do you see that there is a high interest in culinary arts?
Most definitely, because again, tourism is our main sector. So what you get is you get a lot of hotels have people do internships and training programs. And then people who can afford go overseas to go to culinary school. So if you have that right here in St. Lucia, you keep everything home.
Nice.
You keep everybody educated home. They train here, they get to work here. Then rather go overseas and take all the Italians overseas.
Nice. So now you're heaping up the pork wrap.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And again, the pork is locally sourced and grilled as well.
Okay.
Barbecue sauce again. So we keep one specific flavor, but then the meat accompanies everything. So you get that general idea of what it is.
So you can enjoy the wrap that you're doing right here. It doesn't matter if your religious persuasion takes you away from pork, or if you're a vegetarian, if you're pescatarian.
We cater for all.
Yeah.
And also you can always add to your wrap. So we can add mushrooms, corn, whatever your heart desires.
Perfect.
You can add to it.
Nice.
Definitely. So here you go. Pork, vegetarian, and chicken wrap.
Now, for the purposes of national television, I'm going to play it safe with some chicken. Where's the chicken wrap? Although I'm very sure that all of them taste wonderful. Chicken wrap. Okay, so let me put this aside. It tastes great, guys. It tastes wonderful. Thank you so much, Chef Yannis, for another week of recipes and showing us how we could, spice things up in our own kitchen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, most definitely.
We continue with the news. In the meantime, a scores of students in Education District 2 have received school supplies as they return to the classroom for the new academic year. We have a report from Anicia Antoine. Take a listen.
The parliamentary representative for Grosley, Honorable Leonard Montoute, has donated school supplies to the public elementary schools in District 2. The annual initiative, which commenced in 2007, included a donation of 10,000 notebooks, school bags, lunch kits, and other school supplies. Honorable Montoute expressed hope that the donation will ease the burden on parents who are currently preparing for their children to return to school.
I am pleased to say that this year, given the situation with COVID, there were periods when some of you had to work at home and you required devices. The requests started coming to my constituency office from parents and students who did not have a tablet or laptop or any kind of device. Some people didn't even have a phone. Some people had to work from a phone. And so people came to my constituency office for assistance. We have given out quite a number of tablets to various students and parents for the students. However, in today's presentation, we are going to be giving out a few more tablets to the Grosley Infant and Primary, the Moshi Combined, and the Grand Riviere Combined schools. What we are doing, like the backpacks, we are going to be presenting 20 tablets to each of the schools, that the principal and teachers will determine who are the students that are most deserving of those electronic devices, and they will be passing them on to those students to assist them in carrying out their work.
Honorable Montoute noted that the current secondary school and the sports academy will also be receiving a quantity of notebooks. Principals and the parents of the students were on hand to receive their quota of school supplies. Grand Riviere Primary School's principal, Julietta Charles, expressed gratitude to the parliamentary representative for his generous donation.
You have delivered even much earlier than previous years. And more so, you have also provided us with the devices, and you know how important it is for digital learning. Also, you've donated our backpacks, then you've also given us lunch boxes. What else you said? And other school supplies. This is a generous donation, parents. And I really want to take this opportunity on your behalf to thank the district rep. But we must not forget his team, because he could not have done it alone. So once again, on behalf of all 3 schools in your district, in your constituency, I really want to extend heartfelt thanks.
The handing over ceremony of the donation of school supplies took place on Thursday, August 13th, 2020, at the Grosley Human Resource Development Center. From the Government Information Service, I am Anicia Antoine reporting.
Thank you so much, Anicia, for that report. And as you guys can see, I'm finishing a chicken wrap on set today. I mean, these Mondays are the best days in office at work with Chef Yannis in studio. Thank you so much for watching. We've come to the end of the Morning Brew. We do hope you stay tuned for more NTN programming. And don't forget to follow Chef Yannis on Instagram. It's Chef Yannis 758 on Instagram to be sure to just get some more ideas of how he prepares his recipes and so on. So thanks again, Chef Yannis, for coming and making these presentations with us. Do stay tuned for more NTN programming, and do tune in tomorrow morning. We have some more surprises. Thank you so much for watching. Jessie Leon signing off. Final bite.